Most assume that a marriage ends the moment someone says, "Till death do us part." But according to the Garuda Purana, one of Hinduism's most ancient texts on the afterlife, the physical death of a spouse marks the beginning of the relationship's most grueling test. This reality is laid out in a cosmic dialogue. The bird king Garuda asks Lord Vishnu a terrifying question. What actually happens to the bond between a husband and wife when one of them is suddenly ripped away by death? Vishnu answers by revealing the earthly tragedy of a man named Madhav. He dies suddenly at 40, leaving behind his grieving wife, Sumitra. As she weeps over his body, Madhav's soul is standing right next to her. He reaches out to comfort her, but his hand slips through her shoulder. He has become an invisible observer in his own home. That helplessness quickly turns to horror. The air turns cold as two terrifying figures materialize. These are the Yamduts, messengers of death. They rack Madhav's soul in iron chains and drag him away from his front door, ignoring his screams. Madhav is now trapped on a 47-day march to Yamaloka, the realm of the dead. He has no physical body and no way to protect himself. His survival on this journey depends on the rituals his living wife performs back on Earth. A newly departed soul is incredibly vulnerable. Without a physical form, the soul experiences hunger and thirst as if it were still flesh, yet it must walk barefoot across scorching sand and thorns. As the Yamduts push Madhav forward, Sumitra begins a strict 10-day mourning ritual back in their earthly home. She sacrifices her own comfort to perform the pindan, the offering of rice balls to the deceased. This diagram illustrates exactly how these offerings work. The pindan functions as a metaphysical assembly line. Day 1 constructs the head of a new spiritual vessel. Day 2 forms the neck and shoulders. Over 10 days, Sumitra's offerings build Madhav an ativahik body, a subtle, supernatural suit designed to shield him from the elements of the afterlife. Without this new vessel, the soul lacks the structure required to endure the trek. It remains a wandering, formless ghost, unable to move towards its final judgment. These ancient mourning practices act as a life support system. Sumitra's adherence to the protocol transmits essential energy across dimensions to sustain Madhav's existence. The Vaitarni flows with a viscous mixture of blood, pus, and bone, churned into a boiling slurry that sinners are forced to navigate. This is the most terrifying geographical obstacle on the road to Yamaloka. Madhav's feet begin to burn the moment he touches the bank. He is paralyzed by fear, but the messengers of death show no mercy, pushing him toward the churning red current. Down on Earth, Sumitra makes a specific donation known as Vaitarnidan, offering a black cow to a priest. The moment she completes this vow, a supernatural boat materializes in the afterlife, ferrying Madhav safely across the boiling river. Her final intervention occurs on the 13th day. Sumitra prays into the night sky, offering her entire lifetime of virtue, her punya, to pay Madhav's karmic debts. Because she seeks no benefit for herself, she creates a massive surge of merit that forces the Yamduts to halt. Even the messengers of death must respect a sacrifice that mirrors the ultimate cosmic law of selflessness. While rituals provide the vehicle, it is the purity of Sumitra's devotion that powers it. Only a spouse's transfer of merit has the cosmic authority to override the harsh punishments of the journey. Madhav eventually completes his march and stands before Yamaraja's cosmic courtroom. There is no bribery here, and earthly status carries no weight. In this domain, every soul is judged strictly by the currency of their actions. Yamaraja's scribe evaluates the couple based on runanubandha, the karmic debt binding two souls across time. Madhav and Sumitra have been entangled for 7 lifetimes, playing siblings, enemies, and servants, constantly swapping identities to settle debts. Yamaraj presents Madhav with a final test. He warns Madhav that if he continues to cling to his identity as Sumitra's husband, the karmic debt remains open. That attachment ensures he will be pulled back to Earth in a new body to continue the cycle of suffering. What we romanticize as eternal soulmates is viewed by cosmic law as an unresolved ledger. It is a cycle of attachment that traps both souls in a loop of rebirth. Standing before the judge, Madhav realizes his earthly love was clouded by a desire to possess. To truly honor Sumitra's sacrifices, he must release his attachment to her entirely. The moment he lets go of his desire to own her, his karmic debt hits zero. The iron chains fall away, and Madhav is permitted to move into Pitraloka, the realm of the ancestors. Before he can enter his next reincarnation, the universe suppresses the soul's past identity. This ensures that the cycle of life isn't paralyzed by souls longing for people and places that no longer exist. The Garuda Purana strips away our comforting illusions. The physical markers of identity, wealth, beauty, and status, are stripped away at the gateway of death. A successful marriage functions as a crucible for shared virtues and selfless devotion. These are the only assets that remain when the soul transitions into the dark.